Hi everybody, Renee here with Luminous Cosmetics, walking you through everything you need to know about airbrushing from start to finish. So when you get your kit at home, what to do with it, what the airbrush system is, how to use all the products, and today we're actually even going to keep going and do some summer looks. So let me pop up our banner here. This is going to show you exactly when we go live, and we also are going to show you what you get in your kit. Well, if you've already ordered it and you have it in front of you, you are sure to know. If you are curious, this is what comes in your kit. You get your airbrush system, blush, two foundations, and a product called Love. So we're going to go through all of that today, and we're going to just show you a few other amazing cosmetics that we have here at Luminous that are going to give you a really fun summer look. Let me say good morning to everybody. Hello, Candy. If you are new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe and turn on those notifications because you don't want to miss a thing. We have a ton of fun here on our lives. All right. If by chance, just wanted to remind you, if by chance I miss your comment or you have a specific question, please go ahead and send me an email. I'm happy to respond. Let's get started with doing a little demo. And the demo is one of my favorite parts because when we're doing airbrush, the difference is that you aren't going to see that on your face like you normally would, like popping a foundation on, rubbing it in, and moving it around. So let's start with a demo of our Silk foundation. Just going to go through our stylus here. Our stylus, you put your foundation right in here. And for this demo, I'm just using a few drops, 3 or 4 drops. Holding your stylus like a pen, this is the trigger, so you're going to move that to release the product. And we always want to keep that moving. So you see how we have nice, even texture there? So if you come too close, it's a lot heavier. It also can be wet. So see how nice and even this is? And it's also, as you can tell, it's not like dripping off the paper. So you can actually do this demo at home with just a few drops because it really makes you feel comfortable holding your stylus. Like, seriously. Hey, Melissa. Good morning. Donnie. Hello, Patty. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. So that was our demo. Love a little demo. Just gives us an idea on what your foundation is going to look like on your skin. And doing it on paper really shows a huge difference because if you do it directly on your skin, because the whole point of airbrush is to be completely flawless, you're not going to see foundation layers like you will with traditional foundation. Good morning, Tamberly. All right, so let's do those same techniques and let's just do them on the face. Now, if this is your first time, it's okay. You're gonna see, I'm gonna do one side first so you can see the difference, but you are gonna see a very subtle change. You're not going to see a hard line. You're not going to see smacked up there in a lot of heavy weight. So it's going to be a little bit different of an experience than what you're used to seeing doing traditional foundation. But now that you can see here, half and half, you definitely can see I have a much more even tone here. So you see some of the redness here. That just disappears. Melissa is new to airbrush and loving it. Sometimes feel like it looks a bit heavy at first until it warms into your skin. Melissa, what formula are you using, just out of curiosity? Because we have 4 formulas of foundation, so I'm just curious. Right now, we're currently using the Silk. Good morning, Amber. All right, so nice and even. Melissa's using the Silk. All right. So it just is Melissa, have you How many times have you practiced? Because sometimes when you put it on, we might put it on a little bit more because we're used to seeing makeup at first. When I first started doing it, I was like, why am I not seeing this? And it does take just a second to kind of get onto the skin. But once you do, if you were to try, like we did in our demo, trying it on paper can really show you how thin you can get it. So if you want to try that, is super helpful just to get a feel of how how very little goes such a long way when it comes to airbrushing. The goal is to go over the whole area multiple times in very, very, very thin dustings of product to then build the coverage where you need it. So I usually do a very thin pass all over, and then most of the time I need just a little bit more here. And for some reason recently, I've been a little bit more red towards my hairline, and that's where I've been finding that I need to go for another pass. So I hope that these tips help, and I hope that you're able to practice, because I haven't heard of that particular question about feeling heavy, looking heavy at first, but it could be just how much you're actually releasing. And then once it melts in, most products will help to look softer as your skin starts to react with them. So I hope that helps. All right, let's get into blush, and then we're gonna save love for the end. So if you're looking at love, just a few drops there. We're gonna do tulip. If you're looking to find out what's happening with love, we're gonna save it to the end, so you have to stay tuned. The application process is exactly the same. Yes, Melissa, you are 100%. Remember that you might not see it immediately. We're just so used to taking a product out of a bottle, swiping it on, and then we're trying to move it. This is like, it kind of just, and I know it sounds crazy, but if you believe in magic, it feels kind of like a magic approach for sure. Melissa, around the 7th, 8th time, we definitely recommend at least 7 days in a row. You're going to feel more comfortable using it and really get a little bit more of that light hand with it as well. So adding a little bit of blush. This is Tulip, but don't worry, we're going to mix and match tons of summer fun tips into this one too. Perfect, Melissa. I love it. I love having our newer customers joining us as well and asking questions. I think it gives us a lot to think about and bring ourselves back to, because it is a learning curve. It's just like the first time you put on a lipstick. I mean, think about it. You might have stolen your mom's lipstick. maybe that was just me. When you were younger, and there is definitely, it's definitely a learning curve. The first time you put any foundation on, woo, I remember high school, it was definitely a learning curve for sure. So don't worry if it's not 100% perfect at first. We definitely recommend a good amount of practice. All right. Just going back with a little bit of the Silk formula and creating a little bit of a concealer look. Just a little bit more concealer in that area, for me, is what I like. All right, let's get into, remember, we're going to do love later, but because it's summer and I tend to get just a little bit oily, I am going to take our big fluffy 100. Oh, let me take this down so you guys have some more room here. And Candy is right. Practice makes the biggest difference in, I mean, I think we can say this. Didn't we learn this when we were young? Practice will make progress. So you are on the right track to learning and practicing, because as when I first started doing it, the first time I picked it up, I was like, what is this? And then I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I just got better with it over time, for sure. So it's just setting everything with a translucent powder, This is completely optional. To me, I personally like it in the summertime because I need a little bit more of that mattifying for me because I tend to get a little bit oilier. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a brow with just a brow gel. I'm gonna use just the gel side here of our Define 2-in-1. In the summer, I like kind of like airier brows. So I don't like them like really over defined because my whole look in the summer tends to be a little bit lighter. So I just kind of want the definition where I want it. And we can definitely see a difference. I just don't want overly shaped brows for my summer look. I've got my messy bun because my hair is combating humidity today. I walked outside and it literally grew like 15 times. So I just want this light, airy, casual feel to my brows. I did wipe a good amount off. But I wanted to just put a little bit of color in there with brows. Again, your brows should kind of match your your vibe. If you've got super casual hair going on and super like light and airy makeup, you shouldn't have overly defined brows. Hi Veronica, welcome to your first live. I'm Renee. We're all excited that you're here. Thank you for actually commenting. We know that sometimes it can be a little scary, but we're all friends here and we love hanging out. All right. Okay. So evened everything out. I've got my foundation on. I've got my blush on. We did a little bit of the brow here with our 2-in-1, but I did just the gel side just because I wanted that really airy, light, not overly defined brow. Now we do get questions a lot. Can you use traditional foundation products, traditional makeup products with your airbrush system? And we're going to say, absolutely. So we even make beautiful non-airbrush products. For example, I'm going to use right here, I'm going to take up my blush a little bit and use a product called Demure. This is a blush. I'm going to make sure there we go. This is a blush. Now it has a little bit of a bronzy color to it, but don't be mistaken when you see it. It also has a good amount of pink in it. And I love this color for the summer because it makes me feel like I have this like bronzery blush. It just gives me like a depth, a depth to the warmth and a depth to the color that I have. It almost makes me feel a little bit tanner. Hi, Katana. Thank you for joining. Thank you. So just giving us a lot of warmth here and a little bump of color. Now my tulip blush was underneath, so that's okay. I can do both. I love having options. I mean, hello, we're women, and when we're doing our makeup, trust and believe, we want options. So you can layer your favorite blush, bronzer on top of your foundation. You can layer your airbrush on top of your powders, which is so mind-blowing because you can't really do that with non-airbrush products. All right, let's get into the really simple eye we're going to do today, and that is going to be with our Nude and Naughty palette. Now, this one has a lot of options, but I'm going to I'm keeping it simple. Remember we said we want just kind of like washes of color. We did a really subtle brow. We just did super, super simple. We are not going overboard here. So we're just going to take a fluffy brush. And now this one is our brush 200. And I am just going to focus on a bronzy color here called Spicy. Right here, Spicy. And I'm going to put it on first with my finger. Donnie has been watching us for a while and has, I'm telling you, take it out of the box. Let me ask over here. Melissa. Melissa's been trying hers she's tried hers 5 times. Melissa, would you say that it's getting easier every time? I know that you are running into some areas and might be feeling a little bit heavy, but you're in the practice mode. But compared to now, time number 5 versus time number 1 versus time number 5, do you see a difference? Guys, I'm taking that spicy color. I laid it down on my lid, but I am blending it all the way around. So I'm not laying down more color here. I'm just softening it out. So I don't want any hard lines. Remember we talked about that. We're doing all softy blended. Same process. Again, we're not adding any more. We're just moving it around. Better each time. Oh, wow. Melissa even got a compliment, which after just a few times, that really shows it just takes that practice for sure. All right, so I love this super bronzy, just love, love, love a little bit of color for the summer. And then I'm going to take, that's not the one I want. Let's try this one. All right, we're going to do a little bit of the emerald liner. All right, so we're just going to press this liner almost into the lashes. I'm not drawing. I'm just going to make my lashes look thicker. So I don't have a thick line. I don't always like a thick line for me. So if you want something a little thinner, I'm actually using the side and getting some, actually using the side and getting, see how thin? It almost looks like I'm just getting my roots touched up. Okay, so I'm going to come back and do mascara in just a minute, and we're going to do love, but I want to do a combo for lips that we hear pretty often. I want to do a bolder lip, but I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm scared it's going to be too much. So we're going to show you a really cool combo. So I'm going to use our tangerine lip pencil. Love this orange. If you're a little hesitant too, like to wear such a bold, intense color, don't worry. We're going to show you the trick for that. All right. Oh, I have some lip balm on. Let me take that off. All right. Candy loves a thick liner. And that's the beauty of makeup. We all have our things that we love. All right, so we're going to start with the orange tangerine color. And I'm going to then fill in a little bit. Then I'm going to go to a color that we haven't talked about a lot, but I love. And this one is called Cookie Cutter. So Cookie Crumble. So when I put Cookie Crumble in to my lips, I'm just going to put it on like regular. I look a little crazy, but that's okay because we're going to take our finger and we're going to start blending it into the edge of that liner. And then I'm going to come back with my pencil again. And then fill in. Smudge, smudge, smudge. All right. So we're getting that hint of color without committing to it. So showing you here on my hand, that bold tangerine color might be a little much for you, but if you want to ease your way into it, adding that cookie crumble, see right there? Okay. We are going to then blend it in. So see how we're making much more of a subtle color there. So it's like a transition. I'm going to try something a little bit out of my comfort zone, and then adding a little bit of the cookie crumble to it makes it a little bit more subtle. So I get more of like, I think I said this before, a wash of color. So that is definitely the theme of today's summer look, is those washes of color. Yes, Tamberly, it is the Nude and Naughty Amber. Amber asked for that. And the color we used was Spicy. All right, let's wrap this up with a little mascara. And then we're going to add Love. Now, if you're staying tuned because Love is in your kit, don't go anywhere because we're going to finish this up with Love. I love this. I love it. It's summery. It's fresh. It's not overly done. There's no hard lines. It's just enough to make me feel really put together. I've got a little fun pop on my lip. Like, definitely not overboard, which when we hold up this orange tangerine color by itself, it's like, whoa, okay, maybe that's a little much. And it can be a little much. It's even a little much for me. And I'm a makeup artist. So it's how we can manipulate and get the idea of these colors. Like, I love the idea of this tangerine color, but how can I then just make it a little bit more wearable for me in a level that I'm comfortable with? So that is really what products like Cookie Crumble does for any of your lip pencils. So if you have any lip pencils that might be sitting around that you don't love because maybe they're a little too much, maybe it's a little too red, maybe it's a little too berry, adding Cookie Crumble to it will help kind of blur it out and soften it just a little bit. Thank you, Jacqueline. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging with me today and doing some summer makeup. Renee here with Luminous. If you want to stay tuned for more, don't forget we're back here at 12, 2, and 4. And we're here Monday through Thursday, 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4, and on Fridays at 10 or 8 and 10. So you don't want to miss a thing. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.